Thank you for joining us today for We Know Their Names, a virtual Srebrenica commemoration. My name is Ida Sepper, and I serve as the president of the board for the Bosnian American Genocide Institute, a nonprofit organization dedicated to research and education pertaining to the genocides that occurred in Bosnia and in the Balkans. We have gathered virtually today to honor the victims and survivors of the genocide in Srebrenica that occurred in 1995, from July 11th through July 22nd. Where 8,373 Bosnian Muslims, primarily men and boys, were executed in the Srebrenica region of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And every year on July 11th, we recognize this day as a day of mourning as we commemorate the Srebrenica genocide. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Srebrenica genocide. To fully contextualize the story of the Srebrenica genocide, we must look back to the spring of 1992. When the war and genocide began in Bosnia and Herzegovina. After the death of Yugoslavia's primary leader, Josip Broz Tito, Islamophobic ethno-nationalism escalated throughout Yugoslavia for well over a decade before the citizens of Bosnia declared independence. As Slovenia and Croatia declared independence, the leadership and weaponry of the Yugoslav National Army became centralized in Serbia. The Islamophobic rhetoric and warmongering concerned many residents of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which led to a push for sovereignty in 1991. However, after a lack of recognition by the European Economic Community, the citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina held a referendum for independence from the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia in spring of 1992 to validate the population's need for independence. With a voter turnout larger than 60%, 99.7% of voters agreed to an independent Bosnia and Herzegovina. The population of Bosnia and Herzegovina was historically very diverse in ethnic and religious composition, which included populations who held a firm belief in Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and many others who did not align themselves to a faith at all. Out of the 4 million residents, Muslim Bosnians, often referred to as Bosniaks, made up about 44% of the population, in comparison to 31% of Christian Orthodox Serbs and 17% of Catholic Croats who were also residents and citizens of Bosnia. On April 6, 1992, the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina received recognition from the European Economic Community and the United States as an independent nation. The creation of an independent Bosnian nation that would have had Bosnian Muslims, Bosniaks, as a majority was opposed by many ethno-nationalist Bosnian Serbs, who launched a military campaign with the support of the Serbian government and the Yugoslav National Army. Their primary goal was to secure the territory of Bosnia and Herzegovina and to terrorize the Muslim civilian population through organized concentration camps, physical, emotional, and sexual torture, which included sexual assault, trafficking, enslavement, and forced birthing, dehumanization, the erasure of the Bosnian Muslim identity, history, and language, expulsion and theft of property, deprivation of resources, starvation, and planned and organized execution of men, women, children, and the elderly. What began with the shelling of Sarajevo on April 6, 1992, spread throughout Bosnia from concentration camps in larger cities to absolute annihilations of entire family trees in smaller villages. After 3 years of occupation, and after being designated a safe area by the United Nations in 1993, Srebrenica was overrun in July of 1995 by Bosnian Serb forces led by General Ratko Mladic. With no resistance from UN peacekeepers, Bosnian Serb militia began to systematically separate families and communities by separating the Bosniak men and boys from the women and girls. The men and boys were rounded up and taken to various execution and torture sites, where they were killed en masse and buried in 94 different mass grave sites. Some women and girls were taken to never be seen again, while others were sexually assaulted and were prevented from seeking help when they were forcibly impregnated. Young children and the elderly were not exempt from this violence. As the youngest victim, Fatima Muhic, was less than a day old when she died, while Saha Izmirlic was 94 years old when she died. According to the International Commission of Missing Persons, 563 children and 60 women were murdered in Srebrenica. The international community, represented by the United Nations peacekeeping forces, failed to protect the 8,373 men, women, children, and the elderly from being brutally murdered, all while the victims were misled into believing that they would receive protection in the event of an ambush. The brutality of the Srebrenica genocide is unfathomable. The perpetrators, after executing primarily men and boys, would later return with heavy machinery to dig up the mass graves, to disperse the remains of the victims at multiple grave sites in order to conceal the evidence of the genocide. And many victims' remains were often found in 3 to 4 mass graves as a result. Many families would have a funeral to only a year later, or even a decade later, have to exhume the body of the victim to add the additional remains to the burial. The aftermath of the Srebrenica genocide left deep scars on Bosnia and Herzegovina. According to the International Commission of Missing Persons, of the 8,373 who were murdered in Srebrenica, 7,017 have been identified via their DNA, while there are over 1,000 still missing. To date, 6,772 people have received a proper burial in Srebrenica. This year, 7 additional victims were buried. Senaid Avdic, Haris Mujic, Rifet Gabelic, Hasib Omerovic, Sedalia Alic, Amir Mujcic. Over the 3-year span of the genocidal occupation of Bosnia, 2 million people were displaced, 100,000 people were murdered, 80% of whom were Muslims. Between 20,000 and 50,000 women were sexually assaulted. Over 30,000 people, including men, women, children, and the elderly, were imprisoned in concentration camps. The DNA evidence and the courageous testimony of survivors, some who still face threats of violence and discrimination in Bosnia, efforts towards justice were primarily executed through the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia and the International Courts of Justice, as they both recognized what happened at Srebrenica was a genocide. 20 individuals have been tried at the ICTY. 57 appeared before the State Court of Bosnia and Herzegovina, resulting in 4 life sentences and 38 other sentences due to DNA identification. While accountability has been the primary hurdle for reconciliation, the annual commemoration of the Srebrenica genocide stands as a solemn occasion to remember and mourn the victims and stand in solidarity with victims and survivors. For the last 30 years, thousands of Bosnian diaspora community members have taken the time to recognize July 11th away from Srebrenica as a day of mourning and remembrance. Some even through city, state, and country proclamations and resolutions. Last year, the UN General Assembly designated July 11th as the International Day of Reflection and Commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica. These commemorations of the Srebrenica genocide on July 11th hold profound significance, not only for the victims and their families, but also for other victims and survivors of the genocide in Bosnia, whose perpetrators have escaped accountability. Over the next few days, you will hear a number of volunteers from around the world who have taken the time to read the names of all of the Srebrenica genocide victims. While you may not know these names personally, we want you to take the time to listen and/or read the names being recited. You may hear the same name multiple times, and that is not in error. These are all individuals who died during the Srebrenica genocide. The genocide in Srebrenica, which culminated in July of 1995, was not an isolated event, but the final chapter in a broader campaign of systemic persecution and violence against Bosnian Muslims over the period of 3 years. The genocide in Bosnia serves as a stark reminder of the horrors of war and the devastating consequences of ethnic hatred. And as a community of genocide survivors, we must have a collective commitment to truth-telling, justice, and accountability in the face of genocide denial. As we have seen time and time again, how it is impacting our current political system. And we cannot do that without recognizing the devastating effects of mass imprisonment and enslavement of the Uyghurs, the destructive invasion of Ukraine, the state-sponsored violence in Syria, the genocide of the Tigray in Ethiopia, the devastating violence in Sudan, and the frightening use of military power to imprison innocent refugees and immigrants in the United States. And of course, the longest modern-day and internationally sponsored occupation and genocide of the people of Palestine. As a community of survivors, we cannot stay silent as others are dehumanized and violence against them is argued as justified and acceptable retaliation. There is no justified retaliation against a civilian population. July 11th is vital in preserving the historical record and countering denial and revisionism. By remembering and documenting the atrocities committed during the Srebrenica genocide, we confront the past and reject any attempts to distort or deny the truth. It stands as a collective commitment to truth-telling, justice, and accountability. And the first truth that must be spoken is a name. And with this act, we will know all 8,373 of their names.
My name is Amna Tolkman. Today, I will be reading the names of 100 victims who were murdered during genocide in Srebrenica. Hayrudin Abdurrahmanovic, 50 years old. Idris Abdurrahmanovic, 63 years old. Ismet Abdurrahmanovic, 58 years old. Mehmed Abdurrahmanovic, 35 years old. Mehmedalia Abdurrahmanovic, 42 years old. Nisad Abdurrahmanovic, 22 years old. Saqib Abdurrahmanovic, 40 years old. Fikret Abidovic, 18 years old. Ibrahim Abidovic, 63 years old. Ragib Abidovic, 62 years old. Rasim Abidovic, 55 years old. Abdurrahman Ademovic, 62 years old. Abid Ademovic, 57 years old. Abid Ademovic, 60 years old. Adem Ademovic, 18 years old. Adem Ademovic, 23 years old. Adem Ademovic, 34 years old. Adnan Ademovic, 20 years old. Ahmet Ademovic, 34 years old. Alia Ademovic, 47 years old. Asim Ademovic, 17 years old. Avdia Ademovic, 45 years old. Avda Ademovic, 27 years old. Avda Ademovic, 40 years old. Avda Ademovic, 66 years old. Avda Ademovic, 69 years old. Azem Ademovic, 24 years old. Azmir Ademovic, 17 years old. Bakhrudin Ademovic, 17 years old. Bayro Ademovic, 25 years old. Bayro Ademovic, 36 years old. Bayro Ademovic, 47 years old. Bayro Ademovic, 53 years old. Bego Ademovic, 22 years old. Behaya Ademovic, 51 years old. Bekto Ademovic, 44 years old. Bashir Ademovic, 31 years old. Jema Ademovic, 20 years old. Jamal Ademovic, 43 years old. Edin Ademovic, 15 years old. Elvir Ademovic, 18 years old. Enver Ademovic, 26 years old. Esad Ademovic, 69 years old. Fadil Ademovic, 46 years old. Fadil Ademovic, 52 years old. Fahrudin Ademovic, 17 years old. Faiko Ademovic, 20 years old. Fatmir Ademovic, 15 years old. Fazlia Ademovic, 39 years old. Hayrudin Ademovic, 39 years old. Hakia Ademovic, 52 years old. Hamid Ademovic, 38 years old. Hamid Ademovic, 57 years old. Hamid Ademovic, 40 years old. Haris Ademovic, 24 years old. Hassan Ademovic, 52 years old. Hazim Ademovic, 24 years old. Hussein Ademovic, 42 years old. Huso Ademovic, 46 years old. Hussein Ademovic, unknown age at death. Ibrahim Ademovic, 58 years old. Ibro Ademovic, 27 years old. Ibro Ademovic, 61 years old. Ismet Ademovic, 61 years old. Yunus Ademovic, 48 years old. Yusuf Ademovic, 20 years old. Kadria Ademovic, 27 years old. Kadria Ademovic, 37 years old. Lutvo Ademovic, 57 years old. Medo Ademovic, 40 years old. Mesud Ademovic, 30 years old. Mevludin Ademovic, 36 years old. Mevludin Ademovic, 37 years old. Muammar Ademovic, 15 years old. Muammar Ademovic, 17 years old. Muhammad Ademovic, 24 years old. Mujko Ademovic, 42 years old. Munib Ademovic, 66 years old. Mustafa Ademovic, 35 years old. Mustafa Ademovic, 66 years old. Najib Ademovic, 34 years old. Nazir Ademovic, 22 years old. Nazir Ademovic, 48 years old. Nurko Ademovic, 37 years old. Orhan Ademovic, 41 years old. Osman Ademovic, 34 years old. Ragib Ademovic, 43 years old. Ramiz Ademovic, 21 years old. Rama Ademovic, 22 years old. Remzija Ademović, 20 years old. Shaban Ademović, 42 years old. Sadik Ademović, 42 years old. Sadik Ademović, 51 years old. Sada Ademović, 62 years old. Saib Ademović, 43 years old. Salih Ademović, 27 years old. Salih Ademović, 43 years old. Samil Ademović, 21 years old. Saad Ademović, 28 years old. Shafik Ademović, 16 years old.
Hello, my name is Brad Mazon. Today, I will be reading the names of 100 individuals who were murdered at Srebrenica. Please forgive me in advance for any mispronunciations. Sefik Ademović, 40 years old. Siedalia Ademović, unknown age at death. Senad Ademović, 18 years old. Senahid Ademović, 26 years old. Seval Ademović, unknown age at death. Sinan Ademović, 26 years old. Suleiman Ademović, 60 years old. Sulyo Ademović, 50 years old. Umka Ademović, 83 years old. Zolfo Ademović, 38 years old. Ahmet Adilović, 57 years old. Fikret Adilović, 18 years old. Sabit Aganović, 26 years old. Abid Agic, 23 years old. Aziz Agic, 73 years old. Kazim Agic, 32 years old. Ermin Agic, 18 years old. Hamdia Agic, 17 years old. Rasim Agic, 68 years old. Sachir Agic, 41 years old. Sadiq Agic, 30 years old. Elvir Ahmetagic, 20 years old. Hussein Ahmetagic, 44 years old. Abdullah Ahmetovic, 35 years old. Abdullah Ahmetovic, 47 years old. Adil Ahmetovic, 37 years old. Ahmet Ahmetovic, 46 years old. Amo Ahmetovic, 59 years old. Alia Ahmetovic, 21 years old. Asim Ahmetovich, 47 years old. Avdo Ahmetovich, 56 years old. Avdullah Ahmetovich, 35 years old. Azim Ahmetovich, unknown age at death. Baria Ahmetovich, 22 years old. Bechir Ahmetovich, 49 years old. Behadil Ahmetovich, 36 years old. Dalia Ahmetovich, 37 years old. Jemail Ahmetovich, 18 years old. Jemail Ahmetovich, 33 years old. Jamal Ahmetovich, 48 years old. Javad Ahmetovich, 26 years old. Jevad Ahmetovich, 44 years old. Edin Ahmetovich, 16 years old. Edin Ahmetovich, 18 years old. Edin Ahmetovich, 19 years old. Eyub Ahmetovich, 54 years old. Elmedin Ahmetovich, 18 years old. Emir Ahmetovich, 19 years old. Enis Ahmetovich, 52 years old. Enver Ahmetovich, 18 years old. Fahim Ahmetovich, 35 years old. Jairo Ahmetovich, 17 years old. Jairo Ahmetovich, 32 years old. Jairudin Ahmetovich, 30 years old. Jairullah Ahmetovich, 27 years old. Hakia Ahmetovich, 46 years old. Hassan Ahmetovich, 23 years old. Hassan Ahmetovich, 50 years old. Himzo Ahmetovich, 42 years old. Huso Ahmetovich, 58 years old. Ibrahim Ahmetovic, 54 years old. Ibrahim Ahmetovic, 56 years old. Ibrahim Ahmetovic, 64 years old. Ibrahim Ahmetovic, 67 years old. Idris Ahmetovic, 33 years old. Idris Ahmetovic, 35 years old. Islam Ahmetovic, 31 years old. Ismet Ahmetovic, 47 years old. Ismet Ahmetovic, 49 years old. Izet Ahmetovic, 37 years old. Izet Ahmetovic, 55 years old. Kadria Ahmetovic, 23 years old. Kasim Ahmetovic, 21 years old. Mahmut Ahmetovic, 53 years old. Mehmed Aliya Ahmetovic, 39 years old. Meho Ahmetovic, 19 years old. Meho Ahmetovic, 77 years old. Merim Ahmetovic, 22 years old. Mevlid Ahmetovic, 24 years old. Mevludin Ahmetovic, 28 years old. Mirsad Ahmetovic, 19 years old. Mirsad Ahmetovic, 22 years old. Muhammad Ahmetovic, 47 years old. Muharrem Ahmetovic, 42 years old. Muharrem Ahmetovic, 68 years old. Muho Ahmetovic, 19 years old. Muho Ahmetovic, 21 years old. Muho Ahmetovic, 25 years old. Muho Ahmetovic, 59 years old. Muho Ahmetovic, 68 years old. Munib Ahmetovic, 19 years old. Munib Ahmetovic, 32 years old. Musa Ahmetovic, 20 years old. Musa Ahmetovic, 20 years old. Mustafa Ahmetovic, 46 years old. Mustafa Ahmetovic, 47 years old. Nazif Ahmetovic, 42 years old. Nazir Ahmetovic, 29 years old. Niyaz Ahmetovic, 23 years old.
Aziz Alimic, 40 years old. Aziz Alimic, unknown age at death. Khairuddin Alimic, 39 years old. Hazim Alimic, 24 years old. Ibrahim Alimic, 36 years old. Ibrahim Alimic, unknown age at death. Yusuf Alimic, 21 years old. Mehmedalia Alimic, 23 years old. Mensur Alimic, 42 years old. Sayad Alimic, 31 years old. Selim Alimic, 53 years old. Zaim Alimic, 21 years old. Zekir Alimic, 34 years old. Alia Alibashic, 54 years old. Kazim Alibashic, 43 years old. Fahruddin Alibashic, 18 years old. Meho Alibegovic, 70 years old. Abbas Alic, 33 years old. Abdullah Alic, 44 years old. Abdurrahman Alic, 53 years old. Abid Alic, 39 years old. Adem Alic, unknown age at death. Adil Alic, 28 years old. Adil Alic, 35 years old. Admir Alic, 19 years old. Ahmed Alic, 27 years old. Alaga Alic, 62 years old. Alaga Alic, 63 years old. Alia Alic, 52 years old. Almir Alic, 19 years old. Ahmed Alic, 17 years old. Ahmed Alic, 33 years old. Atif Alic, 21 years old. Abdullah Alic, 23 years old. Abdurrahman Alic, 53 years old. Azam Alic, 28 years old. Ahmed Ahmetovic, unknown age at death. Osman Ahmetovic, 58 years old. Osman Ahmetovic, 58 years old. Ramadan Ahmetovic, 39 years old. Ramiz Ahmetovic, 28 years old. Ramiz Ahmetovic, 35 years old. Ramiz Ahmetovic, 45 years old. Ramo Ahmetovic, 36 years old. Ramo Ahmetovic, 59 years old. Shaban Ahmetovic, 33 years old. Sadiq Ahmetovic, 25 years old. Shahbaz Ahmetovic, 32 years old. Shahin Ahmetovic, 37 years old. Saqib Ahmetovic, 26 years old. Salko Ahmetovic, 32 years old. Samir Ahmetovic, 17 years old. Samir Ahmetovic, 18 years old. Samir Ahmetovic, 30 years old. Sead Ahmetovic, 37 years old. Selman Ahmetovic, 57 years old. Semid Ahmetovic, 20 years old. Semir Ahmetovic, 17 years old. Senad Ahmetovic, 23 years old. Suad Ahmetovic, 19 years old. Suleiman Ahmetovic, 60 years old. Sulya Ahmetovic, 29 years old. Vahdet Ahmetovic, 23 years old. Zahid Ahmetovic, 44 years old. Ziad Ahmetovic, 17 years old. Ziad Ahmetovic, 21 years old. Zulkid Ahmetovic, 33 years old. Ahma Ahmic, 30 years old. Amir Ahmic, 18 years old. Avda Ahmic, 29 years old. Aziz Ahmic, 31 years old. Edhem Ahmic, 58 years old. Hasib Ahmic, 23 years old. Idris Ahmic, 35 years old. Ismet Ahmic, 48 years old. Mehmed Ahmic, 56 years old. Mirsad Ahmic, 18 years old. Nazif Ahmic, 29 years old. Ahmed Ahmic, 22 years old. Rifet Ahmic, 46 years old. Sabahuddin Ahmic, unknown age at death. Sabit Ahmic, 36 years old. Safet Ahmic, 53 years old. Senad Ahmic, 32 years old. Ismet Ayanovic, 47 years old. Adem Ayšić, 51 years old. Beşir Ayšić, 24 years old. Fadil Ayšić, 54 years old. Fahid Ayšić, 21 years old. Hamdia Ayšić, 38 years old. Ismet Ayšić, 52 years old. İzzet Ayšić, 24 years old. Muya Ayšić, 14 years old. Ramo Ayšić, 25 years old. Rifet Ayšić, 47 years old. Sabahuddin Akagic, 57 years old. Rai Fakshamovic, 18 years old. Abid Alimic, 54 years old. Alia Alimic, 60 years old.
My name is Yusuf Sharancic. Today I'll be reading the names of 100 victims who were murdered during the genocide in Srebrenica. Azam Alic, 42 years old. Azam Alic, unknown age at death. Bayro Alic, 36 years old. Behadil Alic, 33 years old. Behaya Alic, 43 years old. Beharam Alic, 53 years old. Bekir Alic, 23 years old. Bekir Alic, 44 years old. Beriz Alic, 26 years old. Besim Alic, 23 years old. Chamil Alic, 29 years old. Chamil Alic, 48 years old. Damo Alic, 37 years old. Jamil Alic, 20 years old. Jamil Alic, 33 years old. Jemal Alic, 26 years old. Jevad Alic, 30 years old. Jevad Alic, 36 years old. Eldin Alic, 17 years old. Elvis Alic, 19 years old. Elzad Alic, 21 years old. Emin Alic, 45 years old. Enes Alic, 40 years old. Esad Alic, 32 years old. Esed Alic, 54 years old. Fadil Alic, 19 years old. Fadil Alic, 30 years old. Fadil Alic, 31 years old. Fadil Alic, 63 years old. Fahruddin Alic, 22 years old. Fehim Alic, 34 years old. Feyzo Alic, 38 years old. Jairo Alic, 31 years old. Jairo Alic, 36 years old. Hayruddin Alic, 27 years old. Hayrudin Alic, unknown age at death. Hakia Alic, 54 years old. Hakia Alic, 54 years old. Halil Alic, 46 years old. Hamdia Alic, 19 years old. Hamdia Alic, 38 years old. Hamid Alic, 54 years old. Hamid Alic, 32 years old. Hassan Alic, 21 years old. Hassan Alic, 42 years old. Hassan Alic, 43 years old. Hassan Alic, 44 years old. Hassan Alic, 59 years old. Hasib Alic, 30 years old. Hadib Alic, 28 years old. Hidayat Alic, 31 years old. Hidayat Alic, 37 years old. Himzo Alic, 54 years old. Himzuddin Alic, 20 years old. Hirkia Alic, 58 years old. Hussein Alic, 61 years old. Huso Alic, 35 years old. Ibrahim Alic, 21 years old. Ibrahim Alic, 38 years old. Ibrahim Alic, 51 years old. Ibrahim Alic, 55 years old. Ibrahim Alic, 68 years old. Ibra Alic, 52 years old. Ismet Alic, 51 years old. Izet Alic, 33 years old. Izet Alic, 34 years old. Yasmin Alic, 23 years old. Yunus Alic, 48 years old. Yunus Alic, 48 years old. Yusmin Alic, 17 years old. Yuso Alic, 36 years old. Yusuf Alic, 36 years old. Yusuf Alic, 45 years old. Yusuf Alic, 47 years old. Kadir Alic, 37 years old. Kadmir Alic, 20 years old. Kadri Alic, 17 years old. Kadri Alic, 21 years old. Kemal Alic, 41 years old. Kaishif Alic, 24 years old. Mahmud Alic, 24 years old. Mahmud Alic, 36 years old. Mehmed Alic, 57 years old. Meho Alic, 21 years old. Meho Alic, 64 years old. Mehruddin Alic, 14 years old. Mesud Alic, 18 years old. Mesud Alic, 45 years old. Mevludin Alic, 33 years old. Mevludin Alic, 33 years old. Mirsad Alic, 21 years old. Muhammad Alic, 17 years old. Muharrem Alic, 57 years old. Muhyiddin Alic, 24 years old. Muyaga Alic, 17 years old. Muyo Alic, 25 years old. Muyo Alic, 27 years old. Mujo Alić, 27 years old. Mujo Alić, 29 years old. Mujo Alić, 50 years old.
My name is Julia Zubac. Today I will be reading the names of 100 victims who were murdered during the genocide in Srebrenica. Mujo Alić, 50 years old. Mujo Alić, 57 years old. Mujo Alić, 62 years old. Munib Alić, 33 years old. Munir Alić, 30 years old. Muriz Alić, 21 years old. Mustafa Alić, 43 years old. Mustafa Alić, 45 years old. Mustafa Alić, 46 years old. Nazif Alić, 16 years old. Nejad Alić, 20 years old. Nejad Alić, 34 years old. Nejib Alić, 37 years old. Nejib Alić, 38 years old. Nehrudin Alić, 20 years old. Nezir Alić, 26 years old. Nezir Alić, 54 years old. Nezir Alić, 54 years old. Niyaz Alić, 34 years old. Niyazia Alić, 18 years old. Niyazia Alić, 34 years old. Nirsan Alić, 18 years old. Nisvad Alić, 18 years old. Nuria Alić, 25 years old. Ohran Alić, 48 years old. Ohran Alić, 54 years old. Omer Alić, 15 years old. Omer Alić, 28 years old. Omer Alić, 30 years old. Omer Alić, 32 years old. Osman Alić, 14 years old. Osman Alić, 56 years old. Osman Alić, 58 years old. Ramiz Alić, 16 years old. Ramiz Alić, 53 years old. Ramo Alić, 30 years old. Ramo Alić, 32 years old. Ramo Alić, 54 years old. Rashid Alić, 35 years old. Rashid Alić, 51 years old. Recep Alić, 43 years old. Rejo Alić, 30 years old. Rejo Alić, 39 years old. Rejo Alić, 64 years old. Refik Alić, 18 years old. Refik Alić, 21 years old. Refik Alić, 24 years old. Refik Alić, 31 years old. Refik Alić, 52 years old. Reuf Alić, 28 years old. Sabahuddin Alić, 26 years old. Shaban Alić, 45 years old. Shaban Alić, 47 years old. Sabit Alić, 23 years old. Shabo Alić, 70 years old. Sabriya Alić, 23 years old. Sabriya Alić, 61 years old. Shachir Alić, 35 years old. Sadet Alić, 17 years old. Sadik Alić, 26 years old. Sado Alić, 25 years old. Safet Alić, 61 years old. Shahset Alić, 37 years old. Saito Alić, 33 years old. Sakib Alić, 26 years old. Sakib Alić, 29 years old. Sakib Alić, 31 years old. Salih Alić, 47 years old. Salko Alić, 35 years old. Salko Alić, 39 years old. Salko Alić, 63 years old. Samir Alic, 23 years old, Seyad Alic, 24 years old, Seyad Alic, 26 years old, Seyad Alic, 29 years old, Shefik Alic, 46 years old, Seyd Alic, 31 years old, Seydalia Alic, 29 years old, Seydalia Alic, 47 years old, Seydin Alic, 23 years old, Seyfo Alic, 49 years old, Selman Alic, 30 years old, Shemso Alic, 61 years old, Shemso Alic, 61 years old, Senad Alic, 16 years old, Senad Alic, 20 years old, Senad Alic, 21 years old, Senahid Alic, 18 years old, Senahid Alic, 28 years old, Sheval Alic, 28 years old, Shevko Alic, 26 years old, Shevko Alic, 53 years old, Sevlet Alic, 20 years old, Smail Alic, 28 years old, Smail Alic, 58 years old, Suad Alic, 23 years old, Sufret Alic, 32 years old, Shukriya Alic, 55 years old, Shukriya Alic, 57 years old, Suljo Alic, 27.
My name is Ramisa. Today I will be reading the names of 100 victims who were murdered during the genocide in Srebrenica. Vadet Alic, 21 years old. Vadet Alic, 26 years old. Zahid Alic, 31 years old. Zahida Alic, 55 years old. Zaim Alic, 27 years old. Zaim Alic, 59 years old. Zaiko Alic, 34 years old. Zaiko Alic, 52 years old. Ziyad Alic, 22 years old. Barudin Ali Efendic, 19 years old. Cemal Ali Efendic, 47 years old. Habib Ali Efendic, 37 years old. Mohammed Ali Efendic, 41 years old. Ahmed Ali Hodzic, 54 years old. Amir Ali Hodzic, 16 years old. Ekrem Ali Hodzic, 24 years old. Hossein Ali Hodzic, 62 years old. Izzet Ali Hodzic, 35 years old. Mozadet Ali Hodzic, 17 years old. Namik Ali Hodzic, 18 years old. Norif Ali Hodzic, 50 years old. Ramadan Ali Hodzic, 50 years old. Shaban Ali Hodzic, 48 years old. Samir Ali Hodzic, 23 years old.
Saidalia Ali Hodzic, 25 years old. Senad Ali Hodzic, 20 years old. Senid Ali Hodzic, 22 years old. Izet Alijashevich, 55 years old. Mustafa Alimanovic, 37 years old. Alia Alishevich, 58 years old. Avdo Alishevich, 56 years old. Fadil Alishevich, 26 years old. Farudin Alishevich, 21 years old. Adil Alispahic, 37 years old. Armin Alispahic, 16 years old. Azmir Alispahic, 17 years old. Behadil Alispahic, 16 years old. Enver Alispahic, 28 years old. Hamdia Alispahic, 48 years old. Hasim Alispahic, 40 years old. Ibrahim Alispahic, 66 years old. Mirsad Alispahic, 17 years old. Mirsad Alispahic, 17 years old. Moyo Alispahic, 30 years old. Nejat Alispahic, 21 years old. Izzet Alivukovic, 39 years old. Alia Alic, 71 years old. Jamal Alic, 17 years old. Farudin Alic, 30 years old. Jairo Alic, 51 years old. Haris Alic, 25 years old. Ibrahim Alic, 25 years old. Idris Alic, 55 years old. Yusuf Alic, 28 years old. Kerem Alic, 71 years old. Latif Alic, 36 years old. Mevlid Alic, 38 years old. Muhammad Alic, 42 years old. Nazif Alic, 39 years old. Nejat Alic, 17 years old. Nermin Alic, 19 years old. Niyaz Alic, 32 years old. Nuria Alic, 36 years old. Omer Alic, 29 years old. Shaban Alic, 47 years old. Sabriya Alic, 55 years old. Zalko Alic, 20 years old. Shefal Alic, 21 years old. Solo Alic, 45 years old. Ziyad Alic, 24 years old. Sergia Alic, 59 years old. Ilo Alkanovic, 43 years old. Barodin Alkanovic, 20 years old. Bayro Alkanovic, 21 years old. Behodin Alkanovic, 18 years old. Jemo Alkanovic, 25 years old. Hasib Alkanovic, 44 years old. Haso Alkanovic, 75 years old. Izam Alkanovic, 23 years old. Izet Alkanovic, 35 years old. Mali Alkanovic, 32 years old. Niyazia Alkanovic, 27 years old. Osman Alkanovic, 67 years old. Rifet Alkanovic, 36 years old. Safet Alkanovic, 40 years old. Zalchin Alkanovic, 58 years old. Sead Alkanovic, 32 years old. Selim Alkanovic, 27 years old. Shefal Alkanovic, 25 years old. Bebiya Alkanovic, 46 years old. Hasib Alyukic, 40 years old. Mehmet Aliya Alyukic, 32 years old. Hussein Arifovic, 23 years old. Mevludin Arifovic, 30 years old. Hilmo Arnaut, 65 years old. Mevludin Arnautovic, 36 years old. Fadil Arukovic, 20 years old. Shemsuddin Arukovic, 28 years old. Seudin Arukovic, 24 years old. Bayro Atanovic, 24 years.
My name is Asim Pershish. Today I will be reading the names of 100 victims who were murdered during the genocide in Srebrenica. Hasan Atanovic, 42 years old. Ibrahim Atanovic, 29 years old. Ramiz Atanovic, 33 years old. Shaban Atanovic, 67 years old. Seydin Atanovic, 23 years old. Avdo Atic, 48 years old. Edhem Atic, 54 years old. Ekrem Atic, 32 years old. Ekrem Atic, 34 years old. Fehim Atic, 48 years old. Hashim Atic, 59 years old. Ibrahim Atic, 53 years old. Ibro Atic, 20 years old. Idris Atic, 26 years old. Mehmed Atic, 32 years old. Meho Atic, 30 years old. Mirsad Atic, 28 years old. Mujo Atic, 62 years old. Nezir Atic, 31 years old. Osman Atic, 57 years old. Shahman Atic, 45 years old. Seyad Atic, 23 years old. Senad Atic, 20 years old. Sevledin Atic, 20 years old. Smayo Atic, 49 years old. Suljo Atic, 49 years old. Ibrahim Avdagic, 45 years old. Zudia Avdagic, 48 years old. Abdullah Avdic, 44 years old. Abdullah Avdic, 50 years old. Abdulakir Avdic, 39 years old. Abdul Kadir Avdic, 39 years old. Abdur Rahman Avdic, 85 years old. Adem Avdic, 50 years old. Adem Avdic, 68 years old. Admir Avdic, 15 years old. Ahmedin Avdic, 36 years old. Ahmo Avdic, 57 years old. Akif Avdic, 35 years old. Alia Avdic, 39 years old. Alia Avdic, 40 years old. Alia Avdic, 57 years old. Alia Avdic, 58 years old. Almir Avdic, 18 years old. Avdo Avdic, 52 years old. Avdullah Avdic, 23 years old. Avdullah Avdic, 55 years old. Avdullah Avdic, 68 years old. Azam Avdic, 41 years old. Bayazit Avdic, 19 years old. Bayro Avdic, 34 years old. Dalia Avdic, 29 years old. Daud Avdic, 44 years old. Dulan Avdic, 30 years old. Cemal Avdic, 26 years old. Cemal Avdic, 53 years old. Cevad Avdic, 35 years old. Esad Avdic, 29 years old. Esed Avdic, 50 years old. Fadil Avdic, 32 years old. Fakhruddin Avdic, 25 years old. Fazlia Avdic, 38 years old. Fuad Avdic, 21 years old. Fuad Avdic, 22 years old. Habib Avdic, 35 years old. Hayro Avdic, 35 years old. Hayruddin Avdic, 19 years old. Hayruddin Avdic, 25 years old. Hayruddin Avdic, 26 years old. Hayruddin Avdic, 28 years old. Hayruddin Avdic, 34 years old. Hayruddin Avdic, 41 years old. Hakia Avdic, 58 years old. Halid Avdic, 56 years old. Halil Avdic, 20 years old. Hamdia Avdic, 20 years old. Hamdi Avdic, 24 years old. Hamid Avdic, 44 years old. Hasan Avdic, 27 years old. Hasib Avdic, 26 years old. Hasib Avdic, 42 years old. Hasib Avdic, 75 years old. Hazim Avdic, 23 years old. Himzo Avdic, 54 years old. Hussein Avdic, 41 years old. Hussein Avdic, 56 years old. Ibrahim Avdic, 50 years old. Ibrahim Avdic, 53 years old. Ibrahim Avdic, 60 years old. Ibran Avdic, 41 years old. Ibro Avdic, 64 years old. Idris Avdic, 60 years old. Ismet Avdic, 16 years old. Ismet Avdic, 50 years old. Ismet Avdic, unknown age of death. Januz Avdic, 71 years old. Kadir Avdic, 21 years old. Kadir Avdic, 33 years old. Kadri Avdic, 30 years old. Kemal Avdic, 24 years old. Mehan Avdic, 34.
My name is Enes Avdic, and today I will be reading 100 names of the victims that were murdered during the genocide in Srebrenica. Rejo Babic, 30 years old. Himzo Bajic, 49 years old. Mujo Bajic, 58 years old. Zemrija Bajic, 26 years old. Alija Bayraktarevic, 35 years old. Dego Bayraktarevic, 41 years old. Shazim Bayraktarevic, 36 years old. Dahmo Bayraktarevic, 63 years old. Eshad Bayraktarevic, 14 years old. Hussein Bayraktarevic, 57 years old. Hussein Bayraktarevic, 74 years old. Mirsad Bayraktarevic, 36 years old. Mujo Bayraktarevic, 61 years old. Mustafa Bayraktarevic, 46 years old. Nejad Bayraktarevic, 20 years old. Osman Bayraktarevic, 43 years old. Pashad Bayraktarevic, 17 years old. Almir Bayramovic, 21 years old. Azem Bayramovic, 41 years old. Behudin Bayramovic, 18 years old. Javad Bayramovic, 42 years old. Mehmed Alia Bayramovic, 51 years old. Mujo Bayramovic, 36 years old. Nejad Bayramovic, 24 years old. Nesiba Bayramovic, 18 years old. Nazir Bayramovic, 52 years old. Ohran Bayramovic, 41 years old. Shefik Bayramovic, 45 years old. Shemsa Bayramovic, 48 years old. Shamsuddin Bayramovic, 19 years old. Senad Bayramovic, 30 years old. Tahir Bayramovic, 18 years old. Ismet Bajric, 45 years old. Mujo Baric, 69 years old. Ramo Bajric, 40 years old. Rifet Bajric, 30 years old. Shamsuddin Bajric, 28 years old. Hashim Baltic, 55 years old. Mushan Baltic, unknown age of death. Rahman Baltic, 75 years old. Bahria Barakovic, 54 years old. Mevlid Barakovic, 32 years old. Muriz Barakovic, 22 years old. Rifet Barakovic, 27 years old. Almin Barukcic, 24 years old. Hasan Barukcic, 28 years old. Mehmed Barukcic, 50 years old. Ziad Barukcic, 23 years old. Osman Bashchalic, 40 years old. Hamdia Basic, 22 years old. Hasib Basic, 36 years old. Midhad Basic, 22 years old. Shaban Basic, 37 years old. Rashid Becharevic, 47 years old. Azem Bečić, 44 years old. Hayrudin Bečić, 37 years old. Hakia Bečić, 52 years old. Idris Bečić, 46 years old. Mensur Bečić, 21 years old. Mujo Bečić, 25 years old. Ramiz Bečić, 49 years old. Ramo Bečić, 18 years old. Safet Bečić, unknown age of death. Rehbija Bečić, 49 years old. Zihmija Bečić, 17 years old. Abdullah Bečirović, 43 years old. Abdullah Bečirović, 50 years old. Abdul Kadir Bečirović, 38 years old. Adil Bečirović, 38 years old. Ahmet Bečirović, 59 years old. Ahmo Bečirović, 73 years old. Avdo Bečirović, 33 years old. Avdo Bečirović, 55 years old. Azem Bečirović, 25 years old. Aziz Bečirović, 22 years old. Dalia Bečirović, 39 years old. Esad Bečirović, 35 years old. Fadil Bečirović, 35 years old. Habib Bečirović, 65 years old. Halim Bečirović, 21 years old. Hasan Bečirović, 27 years old. Hasan Bečirović, 37 years old. Hasan Bečirović, 46 years old. Hasib Bečirović, 57 years old. Hida Bečirović, 36 years old. Hussein Bečirović, 67 years old. Ibrahim Bečirović, 44 years old. Ibro Bečirović, 52 years old. Ismail Bečirović, 41 years old. Ismet Bečirović, 56 years old. Yuso Bečirović, 29 years old. Yusuf Bečirović, 20 years old. Kadrija Bečirović, 23 years old. Kahriman Bečirović, 53 years old. Kemal Bečirović, 31 years old. Kiram Bečirović, 47 years old. Mehmed Bečirović, 49 years old. Meho Bečirović, 47 years old. Mevludin Bečirović, 18 years old. Mujo Bečirović, 46 years old.
My name is Samir Dalic, and I will be reading 100 names of those that were innocently murdered during genocide in Srebrenica. Rejo Babic, 30 years old. Hinzo Bajic, 49 years old. Mujo Bajic, 58 years old. Zemrija Bajic, 26 years old. Alija Bayraktarovic, 35 years old. Bego Bayraktarovic, 41 years old. Chazim Bayraktarovic, 36 years old. Dahmo Bayraktarovic, 63 years old. Eshad Bayraktarovich, 14 years old, Hussein Bayraktarovich, 57 years old, Hussein Bayraktarovich, 74 years old, Mirsad Bayraktarovich, 36 years old, Muyo Bayraktarovich, 61 years old, Mustafa Bayraktarovich, 46 years old, Nejad Bayraktarovich, 20 years old, Osman Bayraktarovich, 43 years old, Pashad Bayraktarovich, 17 years old, Almir Bayramovich, 21 years old, Azem Bayramovich, 41 years old, Behudin Bayramovich, 18 years old, Javad Bayramovich, 42 years old, Mehmedalia Bayramovich, 51 years old, Muyo Bayramovich, 36 years old, Nejad Bayramovich, 24 years old, Nesiba Bayramovich, 18 years old, Nezir Bayramovich, 52 years old, Ohran Bayramovich, 41 years old, Shafiq Bayramovich, 45 years old, Shamsa Bayramovich, 48 years old, Shamsuddin Bayramovich, 19 years old, Senad Bayramovich, 30 years old, Tahir Bayramovich, 18 years old, Ismet Bayrach, 45 years old, Muyo Bayrach, 69 years old, Ramo Bayrach, 40 years old, Rifat Bayrach, 30 years old, Shamsuddin Bayrach, 28 years old, Hashim Baltich, 55 years old, Mushan Baltich, unknown age at that, Rahman Baltich, 75 years old, Bahria Barkovich, 54 years old, Mevlid Barakovich, 32 years old, Muriz Barakovich, 22 years old, Rifat Barakovich, 27 years old, Almin Barokchich, 24 years old, Hassan Barokchich, 28 years old, Mehmed Barokchich, 50 years old, Ziad Barokchich, 23 years old, Osman Bashchalich, 40 years old, Hamdia Bashich, 22 years old, Hasib Bashich, 36 years old, Midhat Bashich, 22 years old, Shaban Bashich, 37 years old, Rashid Bechirovich, 47 years old, Azem Bechich, 44 years old, Hayrodin Bechich, 37 years old, Hakia Bechich, 52 years old, Idris Bechich, 46 years old, Mansur Bechich, 21 years old, Muyo Bechich, 25 years old, Ramiz Bechich, 49 years old, Ramo Bechich, 18 years old, Safet Bechich, unknown age and death, Vehbia Bechich, 49 years old, Zichnia Bechich, 17 years old, Abdullah Bechirovich, 43 years old, Abdul Qadir Bechirovich, Abdullah Bechirovich, 50 years old, Abdul Qadir Bechirovich, 38 years old, Adil Bechirovich, 38 years old, Ahmed Bechirovich, 59 years old, Ahmo Bechirovich, 73 years old, Avdo Bechirovich, 33 years old, Avdo Bechirovich, 55 years old, Azem Bechirovich, 25 years old, Aziz Bechirovich, 22 years old, Dalia Bechirovich, 39 years old, Esad Bechirovich, 35 years old, Fadil Bechirovich, 35 years old, Habib Bechirovich, 65 years old, Halim Bechirovich, 21 years old, Hassan Bechirovich, 27 years old, Hassan Bechirovich, 37 years old, Hassan Bechirovich, 46 years old, Hasib Bechirovich, 57 years old, Hidan Bechirovich, 36 years old, Hussein Bechirovich, 67 years old, Ibrahim Bechirovich, 44 years old, Ibro Bechirovich, 52 years old, Ismail Bechirovich, 41 years old. Ismet Bechirovic, 56 years old. Yusuf Bechirovic, 29 years old. Yusuf Bechirovic, 20 years old. Kadria Bechirovic, 23 years old. Kahriman Bechirovic, 53 years old. Kemal Bechirovic, 31 years old. Hiram Bechirovic, 47 years old. Mehmet Bechirovic, 49 years old. Meho Bechirovic, 47 years old. Mevludin Bechirovic, 18 years old. Mujo Bechirovic, 46 years old.
My name is Tom Simpson. Today I will be reading the names of 100 victims who were murdered during the genocide in Srebrenica. Munib Bechirovic, 38 years old. Murat Bechirovic, 26 years old. Mudiz Bechirovic, 21 years old. Nejad Bechirovic, 17 years old. Nermin Bechirovic, 17 years old. Nazir Bechirovic, 47 years old. Niyaz Bechirovic, 18 years old. Amer Bechirovic, 27 years old. Amer Bechirovic, 41 years old. Osman Bechirovic, 33 years old. Rahman Bechirovic, 63 years old. Ramiz Bechirovic, 48 years old. Ramo Bechirovic, 60 years old. Rejo Bechirovic, 23 years old. Rejo Bechirovic, 37 years old. Rashid Bechirovic, 23 years old. Safet Bechirovic, 56 years old. Shahbaz Bechirovic, 49 years old. Shahin Bechirovic, 62 years old. Sakib Bechirovic, 31 years old. Samir Bechirovic, 20 years old. Sayad Bechirovic, 38 years old. Said Bechirovic, 24 years old. Selman Bechirovic, 42 years old. Sidik Bechirovic, 29 years old. Smail Bechirovic, 41 years old. Sulio Bechirovic, 30 years old. Teufik Bechirovic, 31 years old. Zulkarnain Bechirovic, 45 years old. Asim Beganovic, 30 years old. Avdia Beganovic, 20 years old. Bayro Beganovic, 42 years old. Bego Beganovic, 31 years old. Ekrem Beganovic, 33 years old. Fehim Beganovic, 31 years old. Hassan Beganovic, 48 years old. Hazim Beganovic, 21 years old. Ibro Beganovic, 49 years old. Izet Beganovic, 46 years old. Yasmin Boganovic, 26 years old. Kasim Beganovic, 36 years old. Mehmed Beganovic, 48 years old. Mehmed Alia Beganovic, 28 years old. Meho Beganovic, 46 years old. Meho Beganovic, 61 years old. Merced Beganovic, 19 years old. Muyo Beganovic, 29 years old. Muyo Beganovic, 41 years old. Muyo Beganovic, 64 years old. Mula Beganovic, 63 years old. Munib Beganovic, 39 years old. Nezir Beganovic, 65 years old. Niazia Beganovic, 40 years old. Nura Beganovic, 73 years old. Ramis Beganovic, 53 years old. Ramis Beganovic, 77 years old. Ramo Beganovic, 43 years old. Reza Beganovic, 54 years old. Sabahuddin Beganovic, 19 years old. Sadiq Beganovic, 19 years old. Safit Beganovic, 26 years old. Sayad Beganovic, 32 years old. Senad Beganovic, 15 years old. Senad Beganovic, 20 years old. Suleiman Beganovic, 47 years old. Vehbia Beganovic, 69 years old. Vesudin Beganovic, 15 years old. Abdullah Begic, 34 years old. Aykuna Begic, 68 years old. Alia Begic, 23 years old. Amir Begic, 16 years old. Asim Begic, 41 years old. Ashim Begic, 57 years old. Bego Begic, 14 years old. Bego Begic, 46 years old. Bego Begic, 57 years old. Jamal Begic, 17 years old. Jamal Begic, 52 years old. Javad Begic, 20 years old. Javad Begic, 21 years old. Edin Begic, 24 years old. Ayub Begic, 22 years old. Asad Begic, 40 years old. Fahir Begic, 22 years old. Faisal Begic, 21 years old. Haydin Begic, 23 years old. Hayruddin Begic, 58 years old. Hakia Begic, 56 years old. Khalid Begic, 29 years old. Khalid Begic, 38 years old. Hassan Begic, 31 years old. Hasib Begic, 45 years old. Himzo Begic, 43 years old. Huso Begic, 69 years old. Ibrahim Begic, 43 years old. Ismet Begic, 37 years old. Yunus Begic, 49 years old. Mahmut Begic, 72 years old. Medin Begic, 16 years old. Medo Begic, 60 years old.